Hello, boys and girls. It's Mr. Cullen. How are you all? I'm missing you. I hope that everyone is keeping well and safe. Thank you for all the hard work that you have been doing. I've been delighted seeing all your wonderful activities and work that you've been doing at home. Thank you for sending your work on email or on Cecil. And don't forget that we can all engage in discussions on Cecil, so you can comment on each other's work, and don't be afraid to post the wonderful things that you're doing. So today I am going to read a story called Fox, written by Margaret Wilde and illustrated by Ron Brooks. So we're gonna read this together. Okay, so I actually have the book here, but we're actually going to read from a book online. So sit back and enjoy. Now, don't forget, during this story, because it's a recording, you can stop and rewind at any time if you miss a bit or you'd like to listen to it again. Okay, and at the end of the story, I've got some questions that you can discuss with your mums or dads, brothers and sisters. And again, you can rewind the recording so that you can listen to the story again if you need to. Through the charred forest, over hot ash, runs Dog with a bird clamped in his big, gentle mouth. He takes her to his cave above the river, and there he tries to tend her burnt wing. But Magpie does not want his help. "I will never again be able to fly," she whispers. "I know," said Dog. He is silent for a moment, then he says, "I am blind in one eye, but life still goes on." "An eye is nothing," says Magpie. "How would you feel if you couldn't run?" Dog does not answer. Magpie drags her body into the shadow of the rocks until she feels herself melting into blackness. Days, perhaps a week later, she wakes with a rush of grief. Dog is waiting. He persuades her to go with him to the riverbank. "Hop on my back," he said. "Look into the water and tell me what you see." Sighing, Magpie does as he asks. Reflected in the water are clouds and sky and trees and something else. "I see a strange new creature," she says. That is us," said Dog. "Now hold on tight." With Magpie clinging to his back, he races through the scrub, past the stringy barks, past the clump of yellow box trees, and into the blueness. He runs so swiftly, it is almost as if he were flying. Magpie feels the wind streaming through his feathers, and she rejoices. "Fly, Dog, fly! I will be your missing eye, and you will be my wings." And so Dog runs with Magpie on his back, every day, through summer, through winter. After the rains, when saplings are springing up everywhere, a fox comes into the bush. Fox with his haunted eyes and rich red coat. He flickers through the trees like a tongue of fire, and Magpie trembles. But Dog says, "Welcome. We can offer you food and shelter." "Thank you," said the fox. "I saw you running this morning and you looked extraordinary." Dog beams, but Magpie shrinks away. She can feel Fox staring at her burnt wing. In the evenings, when the air is creamy with blossom, Dog and Magpie relax at the mouth of the cave, enjoying each other's company. Now and again, Fox joins in the conversation, but Magpie can feel him watching, always watching her. And at night, his smell seems to fill the cave, a smell of rage and envy and loneliness. Magpie tries to warn Dog about Fox. He belongs nowhere, she says. He loves no one. But Dog says, he's all right, let him be. That night, when Dog is asleep, Fox whispers to Magpie, I can run faster than Dog, faster than the wind. Leave Dog and come with me. Magpie says, I will never leave Dog. I am his missing eye and he is my wings. Fox says no more that night, but the next day when Dog is at the river, he whispers to Magpie, do you remember what it's like to fly? Truly fly. Again, Magpie says, I will never leave Dog. I am his missing eye and he is my missing wings. But later that day, as Dog runs through the scrub with Magpie on his back, she thinks, this is nothing like flying, nothing. And when at dawn, Fox whispers to her for the third time, she whispers back, I am ready. While Dog sleeps, Magpie and Fox streak past coolabah trees, rip through long grass, pelt over rocks. Fox runs so fast that his feet scarcely touch the ground, and Magpie exults, at last I'm flying, really flying. Fox scorches through the woodlands, through the dusty plains, through salt pans, and out into the hot, red desert. He stops, scarcely panting. There is silence between them. Neither moves, neither speaks. Then Fox shakes Magpie off his back, as if he would flee, and pants away. He turns and looks at Magpie and says, now you and Dog will know what it's like to be truly alone. Then he is gone. In the stillness, Magpie hears a faraway scream. She cannot tell if it is a scream of triumph or despair. A magpie huddles a scruff of feathers adrift in the heat. She can feel herself burning into the nothingness. It would be so easy just to die here in the desert. But then she thinks of Dog, waking to find her gone. Slowly, jiggity-hop, she begins the long journey home. Okay, boys and girls, thank you for listening to the story. I hope you enjoyed that. There's lots to think about in that story. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just show you some questions. So on the screen, you should see there are a selection of questions. I want you to think about what we just read, okay? And I want you to discuss these questions with somebody at home. So it could be mum or dad or your brothers or sisters, and just talk about some of the themes and ideas that we explored in this text. So let's just read through the questions together. So how did you feel when you finished reading the book? Why do you think the book is called Fox and not Dog or Magpie? Which characters do you like best and why? Have you had any experiences like those in the story? Do you know anyone who is like someone in the story? Are there any characters, events, or settings which remind you of parts of a television program or films you have seen? How are they similar? Do you think the characters deserve what happens to them? If you were telling this story, how would you change? Or what would you change? Why do you think the author wanted the story to end as it does? What do you think is the most important message of the story? And if you could speak to the author about the story, what comments would you make? Okay, boys and girls. So those are the questions that you can discuss with somebody at home. Don't forget, you can listen to the story again or rewind it back to any parts to help you think about those questions. Okay. Anyway, thank you again for all your hard work. I'm really missing teaching you at school, but I look forward to when we can all be back together again. Please do your best. Help mum and dad, support people at home, help with the chores, look after each other. Remember this, it can be a little bit tricky for parents at this time as well. So we all got to look after each other, stay safe and keep healthy. And we will be in touch. I will be in touch on Cecil. Whenever you need me, ask me a question. Feel free to send voice recordings if you have something you'd like to ask. Again, your parents can email me anytime. Okay, bye for now.